Hey everybody, welcome back. So today we have an update on the 700 and the rebuild. For those of you new to the channel, we pulled the engine because it originally had a bad crank seal, and as we were tearing it down, we also found out that it had a bad piston, cylinder, and crank. So now we're in the process of doing a full engine rebuild with some used parts. So went up to Al's snowmobile warehouse in Norton, Vermont on Saturday. Cameron was working, so he wasn't able to make the long journey up there. So we got a replated cylinder. We were originally gonna grab the cylinder that from the engine that the crank came out of, but when I was up there looking at it, there was a couple scores on it, so I talked to Cameron and it just made more sense to pay the upcharge on that, which wasn't that much, just to go with a replate cylinder, and that way when we put it back together, there's no questions or thoughts as far as the reliability when it goes back together. So we have that. Also got the crank, and this crank had about 3,000 miles on it before they took it apart, and all the bearings on it are nice and quiet, nice and so they're in shape. They trued it up before they sold it to me, so should be all set to go. At this point, what we're waiting for is we're waiting for a gasket set and a set of pistons. So what we're gonna do is, even though there was one good piston on it from the original engine, it just makes more sense when you're in this deep just to get a match set of pistons, because at the end of the day, I have no idea who made that piston, its design, its specs, tolerances, the weight. So it just makes more sense to buy a match set of pistons, and you know that there's no thoughts or doubts when you put it back together. So this morning, spent a couple hours getting the cases ready, getting rid of all the old gasket material, all the old silicone, chasing the threads on the cylinder studs, cleaning up the recoil housing and that sealing surface. Also cleaned the exterior of the recoil. So essentially, we're all set to go. The only thing we're waiting for is parts. So what we'll do is, once we get the parts, we'll document the rebuild on that. There will be a little bit more detail on that as far as reassembly for obvious reasons, and we'll go from there. If there's any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and leave them in the comments box. Hope everybody's having a good day. I'll talk to you later. See ya. Bye.